Hello, entrepreneurs. Welcome to episode number 110 of Entrepreneur Fundamentals. My name is Robert Bitto. Well. Now I know how the mythical Cassandra felt. In the ancient world, she was talked about as having knowledge of the future, and no one listened to her. The benefits of a classical education. But anyway, I've been saying for years how unsustainable this whole social media marketing thing is, or how worthless it has been. And that's been over the past 10 years. I've done my share of Instagram and Facebook ads and all of that stuff reluctantly, and a blog, and other stuff too. I've done it all reluctantly because I've been around long enough to see fads and trends go and everything. And so I said from the very beginning, I don't know how this is going to benefit my business if you can show me a direct connection between writing a blog post that took 3 or 4 hours for me to do and a sale. Well, then maybe I might be inclined to believe that writing 3 blogs a week is going to pay off for me. But these metrics are always so vague, and you really can't tell whether or not what you're doing is having an impact. But that's part of the sale of these packages to people. Now, in my previous video, I talked about that whole phenomenon. I'll recap really briefly. That there's a guy on YouTube, here on YouTube, who for about 1.5 or 2 years has been talking about the need for knowledge, and he has a Lamborghini and a Learjet full of big boob supermodels, and you too can have that lifestyle, and I'll show you how. And his shtick was starting a social media marketing agency. Now, the package isn't free. You have to pay $699 or whatever for it, but for that you get the knowledge, and you too can be a marketing agent. What you do is set people up in contracts that they'll pay you, a business person will pay you $800 to $1,000 a month, and you can be their social media marketing expert. You can go into the business and say, you need Instagram, you need to connect with people on Pinterest, you need to do Facebook and Twitter, you have to have multiple Twitter accounts. You can be the expert, and somebody who is actually working a business and has been working a business for a while will say, gosh, you know what, my sales suck, maybe I do need to do this, maybe you're right, but sales suck because the economy sucks. There's really nothing else to say about that. I've been in business for almost 20 years. I've seen cycles. The past 10 years have sucked. I'm not saying that you shouldn't open a business. You should, but be aware of that. If somebody's coming and telling you the reason why your sales are bad are because you don't have a good social media presence. No. And like I've said before, you go to people and you tell them, those who are coming to you with this whole, you need Instagram, you need to do this, you need to do that. Tell them, show me how that's going to affect my bottom line. Guarantee me that it's going to help me, and then I'll hire you. That always ends the conversation. Okay, but back to this guy pushing this whole thing, this whole phenomenon of social media marketing. Okay, he announced within the past week or so, that was between my last video and this video. It's been about a month since I posted that video about don't open your own social media marketing agency. He has announced that he's not offering that product anymore. Oh, people are still making money. Yeah, I know, a 19-year-old who's making $70,000 a month. So he's not offering that product anymore to teach you how to open up your own social media marketing agency. Well, if it's such a good thing, why is he not doing it anymore? Why has he stopped it? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the cracks in the foundation are appearing, just like I said they would. This whole thing was a scam from the very beginning. And how people now are realizing it's a scam, or they're waking up to it, is this. Okay, let's say you do go to this poor furniture store in Iowa, this guy who's been working this business for 25 years, and you sell him that package $800 or $1,000 a month. You get him into a contract that ends in a year. Okay. So what happens after the year is up? After the year is up, this guy is going to be scratching his head saying, this furniture store owner is going to be scratching his head saying, what did I get for that 10 grand plus that I spent with this kid who promised me all of this visibility with social media? What am I getting for that money? People now are waking up and saying, no, I don't want to renew your contract. So then these people who started these social media marketing agencies are seeing their streams of income drying up, as expected, because this stuff has no tangible, measurable effect. Fine, it's like putting a Coca-Cola billboard at Christmas time with Santa drinking a Coke. It's supposed to increase visibility, but to what degree? You can't really say. And I think as a rule too now, people are so overloaded with this stuff. I mean, customers are so overloaded with this stuff. They don't have time or the patience anymore. I write a blog post and I spend hours writing it, let's say. Who's going to sit down and spend 20 minutes reading my blog post? And I do 3 of those a week. Nowadays, who's going to do that? Here's what I'm seeing too. Even with something basic as a newsletter, I do a monthly newsletter. And I had, when I started the electronic newsletter, I had a paper newsletter in my retail store. When I went to electronic, I had almost 3,000 people subscribing to me. Now, it's below half of that. Why? Because I get unsubscribes every month, and I only do it once a month. I only send newsletters out once a month. And people are so sick of it, that they're sick of getting things in their email box, that I get 20% or less opening the email, and I get every month more and more people unsubscribing from me. I have new content, I have great pictures, I'm doing everything right according to these social media marketing people. But people are getting sick of all of this stuff. If it was even any sort of, if it even worked at all to any sort of little degree to begin with. I can think back even 10 years ago when I had a store and I had a basically back room that was sort of empty. Sometimes I would do workshops in there, like sugar skull making, and I would be the teacher. And those workshops were pretty full because that was a popular thing to do. Then came along this woman who came into my store, and she's still online, just smoke and mirrors, fluff, no substance to what she does. She came in as a crafter and said, I'll do a series of workshops in your back room, and I'll give you $10 per person who signs up for the workshops. And we got to do it 6 weeks and, back to back for a month and a half. I'm like, okay, well, can you guarantee those seats being filled by paying customers? Not that I needed that back room space. It was just kind of storage, and, it wasn't making me a whole lot of money. So she said, yes, I have 20,000 followers from my blog and MySpace. And I think Facebook was coming around at that time. Whatever. She mentioned all of this social media stuff. She had all these followers. And then I thought, well, followers don't necessarily mean paying customers. Okay, so that's when it started in my mind about all this. So then what happened is, she did her promotion with her 20,000 people, and I'm in a major metropolitan area. I was in Phoenix at the time. Millions of people live there, and nobody was signing up. In fact, for the 6 workshops, how many people did we get to sign up for each workshop? With 25 spaces, she said, oh, I can fill all of them. You'll have a waiting list. How many people signed up? 1 for each workshop. It was pathetic. Then I went back to her and I said, What happened? I thought you had all these followers, whatever. Then she gave me this BS mumbo jumbo about the universe. Oh, maybe it didn't work out because the universe, blah, blah, blah. You know, you didn't wish hard enough for it, I guess. The principles from that book, The Universe. But that ties in really well with social media marketing. Because when you see that your sales are not going up from doing all of this stuff, then people will tell you, and this happened to me just on Facebook 2 months ago when I said I'm not doing Facebook advertising anymore. You just didn't do enough. You just didn't do it hard enough. You didn't do the right thing or whatever. Oh, then I'm supposed to internalize it. Oh, it's all my fault. Well, no, it's not all my fault. It's that social media promises a hell of a lot more than it delivers. And now, with this famous social media marketing person saying he's not offering his product anymore, that's, to me, that's very, very strange. Even if you have a dud, if people are still willing to buy it, then you sell it. But he is moving on to other things. I think he's investing in property now. I don't know how that's going to go along with 22-year-old millennials who don't know what to do with the rest of their lives. I mean, that's who he was appealing to. Younger people who didn't know what they wanted to do as far as entrepreneurship goes. But it's over. I mean, sorry, it sounded good, but you know, we have to come full circle here, okay? Don't start your own social media marketing agency. Don't be fooled by these people who want to offer you these services. And to the first point, if you want to start a business, I've said this before, listen to the old guy, okay? I'm not a millennial, you know, and I don't have 50,000 followers and clicks and all of that crap. Not a whole lot of people are listening to people in my age group. You have to concentrate on the basics. If you want to start your own business, you have to find out what you're good at, what makes you weird, what you like doing, all of that stuff, and try to find a way to monetize it. If you're going to fall for the whole supermodels and the Learjet thing, you know, you're buying someone else's dream. And one last point, when somebody is selling a product like that online, on YouTube, the time has already passed for the most part. If they made $1 million doing some multi-level thing here, or they made $10 million with this business by tweaking this little algorithm here on the internet or something like that, by the time they get to you, by the time they get to having this product, it's probably already past the time to get into it. So stick with the basics. I've said that for years. And follow your heart and do what seems right to you. That's about all for now. Thank you once again for watching, and remember to always work hard, and may all of your entrepreneurial dreams come true.